Good Monday morning. It is January 31st, 2022. Last day of January. Already 1/12 through the year, if you can believe it. Hey, it's going to be a little bit warmer today. Kind of cloudy day. Not too exciting. Let's look at the long range here. Let's see what the weather maps are showing. Okay, this is the American weather map here. What we're seeing as we start the day. We do have this trough here in the east. There's a little bit of a system that kind of moved through, a little bit of vorticity. Nothing really causing any precipitation, but did cause some clouds. See, there were some flurries around yesterday. But this has left us in at least colder conditions for the time being. But we're going to see a big change, and it has to do with this system here. Now, what we're looking here is at 500 millibars. This is great to look for pieces of energy that are out there, like this little piece here. Probably come through and shoot some more clouds into the area. So I'm going to move forward here, and we'll see what exactly is going on. Remember, we live right out here. I know it's kind of small on this map, but at least we have a sense of where we are. All right, so let's move forward here and see what's happening. So this is a big storm possible here down in Texas with some upper level energy moving out, and then it just kind of gets sheared apart down into the Gulf of Mexico, so nothing big happening. And then here comes the next, and this is the big weather maker. You can see several pieces of energy here getting involved and wrapped into the system, and with that, you know, there's going to be a bigger storm happening. So with that coming in, and we've got colder air kind of shooting in, this is going to set up for something pretty big here in the middle part of the country. I know that there's going to be a snowstorm. Also, because of where it's riding and the fact that there's this big area of high pressure kind of still pressing down, there's going to be some icing concerns. And we're going to have to think about that as well as we head late in the week. Because here we see that this energy is kind of getting pressed in over top of our area. Here's the main low here in the upper levels, but we have energy pressing all the way across, so we can expect to see some interesting thing. Now, this storm is obviously not riding the right direction. It's riding out here west of the mountains, but there is some surface reflection, not much of one down in here as well, so we'll have to see exactly how this pans out. I'm suspecting that the model doesn't know what is going on. There's way too much energy going on at the same time. This looks a little more crazy, too, next week. Now stuff's pressed through, so you can see the boundary may be setting up south of us. This could be a little more wintry looking. This is way far in the future. This is out Wednesday on the 9th of February. Well, I mean, obviously we're way past. I mean, we get out to Friday. We got some interesting stuff going on there with the boundary setting up a little bit south of us. We'll have to see what happens. Maybe a little more piece of a system as well. But once we get beyond, you know, next Monday, Tuesday, we're into La La Land anyway. Probably even into this weekend. I don't think that what we're going to see on Friday is going to pan out the way that it shows here on the map. So let's see how it is showing on that map. Again, just for reference, here we are. Here's cold high pressure. It's been bringing us cold air. It's shifting to the east, which means we're getting a return flow. And you see these red lines in the upper level. That's going to move towards us. So we're going to get warmer this week. You see those red lines kind of move up towards us. We have a little bit of this low. Remember that piece of energy I said was swinging off here? That kind of keeps us a little cooler than I expected. And here's a front across the country. As I mentioned, we could kind of see that there. Here's that little piece of energy that's going down into the Gulf of Mexico and not doing too much. Things are kind of hanging out to get consolidated here later. Now we got what we call overrunning. So this is moisture getting picked up from the fact there's a high pressure system out here. Here's the cold front. And there's stuff being pushed over top. And this is pretty prolific snow here in the Midwest, just for your information. So that comes through. The energy is going west of the mountains, and not much precipitation is falling here. And that cold is trying to press in. This is a pretty impressive area of high pressure. As a matter of fact, it's going to underdo exactly what's going on. This isn't a very ideal place for you to get cold air to start to come down the eastern part of the mountains. We got a low pressure system to the south, a high pressure pressing in from the north. This is setting up for a wintry mess, I can tell, here in our area. We'll have to see. This is a pretty prolific snowstorm, or pretty good, not prolific, but a big snowstorm up here in Pennsylvania. We are looking icy, and that's exactly what the models are going to show. I think the ice is probably even being underdone. I'm not sure that low pressure system is going to end up riding that way. This high has moved far enough east. Cold air is damming down the mountains pretty far. This low is not very strong, so this looks pretty icy for us, and this would be around Friday into Saturday. We'll have to see exactly how that pans out. I'm not sure I'm sold on it, but I'm also saying it's been kind of showed up off and on for a while. All right, now we're past Saturday. We're really in La La Land once we get it next week. Here's another storm. Again, we see some really strong cold air damming signatures here. We had a high that was up to the north, bringing the cold air in. How do we know it's cold air damming? Well, when you see the isobars doing this down here east of the mountains, and I know red was probably not the best, but they're doing this sagginess, it's because cold air is dammed up against the mountains, and you can see that all the way down here into South Carolina with ice and situations. So this is next week. I'm not sure. It says down in South Carolina, I'm not sure that this is going to be what pans out. It's far enough out there that I'm not sure, but this looks like another sleety, messy kind of situation. I like to pass where the low pressure system is, but there's also this low up here. This may change. Oh, it could hopefully change a little more snowy for us. We'll have to see. At least in Loudoun. I do worry about ice there in North Carolina and into Virginia. This looks like a repeat here again. Maybe a little more snowy here later in the period. So, hey, all I got to say is there's a lot of winter weather coming on, and this is some cold air coming in here towards the end and some more energy. But this is definitely cold pattern looking. Maybe warm up briefly this week, but then it looks cold and kind of messy after that. All right, here's a quick look at our area, and I'm moving the system forward. This is, again, towards our Wednesday, Thursday. We're going to be kind of warm. I get some showers kind of move through. And here comes that cold area pressing in on this storm that's coming up from the south. There's a pretty heavy rain there, and it's trying to get over to freezing rain. We'll have to see. Here's freezing rain and sleet. Sleet is okay. Sleet at least doesn't accumulate on the trees. And wow, this really does get a sleety balm here up this way. Hopefully we can get some more cold in the upper levels and get that more snowy than it looks right now. So, all right, after that, I mean, this is La La Land. This is back to the snowy, sleety, icy things next week. And then yet in the long range, another snow event maybe or something. Anyway, just wanted to show you. So basically what I got to tell you is we're going to warm up. Chance of showers on Thursday. Some sleety, icy mess possible on Friday into Saturday. We'll have to see how that pans out. And that's pretty much all I got to share. Hopefully this all made sense. And let me know if you like this. This kind of long explanation and just a look at the weather models. All right, this is Loudoun Weather signing off.